Hey everybody, John here from Incomesh.com, and over the past few videos I've been focusing heavily on online courses and hosting an online course on your own website. And in today's video I want to take a step back and talk about just the kind of fundamental question of, if you're offering a course as an opt-in or a freebie, should that course be delivered by an email, like an email course, or should it be, like I've been talking about with Thrive Apprentice or other forms like Teachable, as a membership area? And so in this video I want to answer that question, or at least give you some grounds to do some thinking on that for which is right for you. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this. So first of all, before we get into the two options, we have to answer the question, why a free course in the first place? You know, what is the benefit of doing a free course versus a cheat sheet or anything like that? And there's a few reasons from what I can see here. First of all, it's a higher perceived value. If you're giving somebody a course, people are understanding at this point in the game with internet marketing that courses sell for $500, $600, $1,000. And if you're giving away a course for free, it allows them to kind of test drive your teaching style and test drive the value that you give away to help them warm up to a more premium offer. And they feel like they're getting a good deal by getting that for free. It's also a quick way to build a relationship, a lasting relationship with that person. Unlike a cheat sheet where you might give them something helpful to fill in and solve a real problem, you know, it doesn't really help them know and like and trust you as a person, an individual, and as a mentor. So where on the other hand, online courses and YouTube videos, anything where you can kind of see the person, hear the person, understand how they think and what they believe in, that's an easier way for them to build that relationship. It also promotes revisits. It's not a one and done. And what I mean by that is, like that cheat sheet example or an ebook example, they get the ebook, they read the ebook, they put the ebook back in their trash or in their recycling bin, and they move on, right? Whereas with a course, whether it's email or an online membership area, they are going to come back again. If it's an email course, like we'll talk about in the next slide, you can drip it out day after day. And if it's a membership area, it becomes kind of like a resource to them, because you as a good teacher will add to that and refine it and make it better over time. And it's going to promote them to come back and see it again. And lastly, it can solve a real problem quickly. So, you know, ebooks are great, but people learn in different ways. And if you can put the text on the slide like I'm doing here, and if you can hear the person and see the person, as well as have some practical exercises that you can often hand out in an online course, it's going to go a long way to help any type of learner. People learn in different ways. So giving them all those different types of information, something's going to click with them and they're going to go and solve their problem quickly. It's also so much easier if you can read a blog post on how to do something online, but as soon as one thing doesn't line up, like if step 4 doesn't exactly lead to step 5 the way they have it written, you're stuck. But if on a YouTube video, you can see, click here, do this, be aware of that, and it's just very easy to go after that. Okay, so now the next 2 slides, I'm going to talk about the email course. On this one, kind of what an email course is and some of the benefits of it, or features of it, I should say. And then the next one will tackle the membership area. Okay, so what is an email course? Essentially, your subscriber is going to enter their email address into some opt-in form on your blog, and after that, after they confirm their email address, they should receive, maybe an email a day, an email every other day that's going to be about your topic, helping them solve that problem, that dilemma, and they'll get about 7 emails over the course of a week, 1 per day or something like that. So why is this a good idea? 1, it's easy. I said easier, but honestly, it's just plain easy. You have one opt-in on one location on your website, and then you go into your autoresponder, whether you use MailerLite or ConvertKit or one of the other awesome responders that are out there, and you just make a little automation. They subscribe, they go here, wait a day, here, wait a day, here, wait a day, etc., etc. You also, using the email autoresponder is going to make you better at it, because email marketing is such a huge opportunity still in 2018 and beyond. The next reason is it builds good email habits for you and for your readers. For you, because you're focusing on an email marketing muscle. You need to have that in your overall strategy, but also for your readers, because now it's not like if you're handing them a one-off email or a confirmation email, there's no incentive for them to continue to open your emails. You kind of have to prove yourself with each next email. Whereas here, they know right off the bat that they're signing up for an email course. That means at least for the next 7 days, they should be answering your emails, at least if you're delivering on the promise you made when they opted in. So that's good. Once they're done with the course, they still have that habit built up of, okay, an email comes in from John at Incomesh, open it up and let's go. So if you continue to add value with your emails after the opt-in is done, like with your weekly emails or weekly newsletters, whatever you choose to do, having that good email habit in the front ground will help you later on as well. And lastly, you can set the pace. And you can still set the pace on the membership area, but it's much more complicated. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, in my Convert course, when I had that as an email course, it was set up where for the first few days, you'd get an email every day. And that would help you set up your first split test with a couple of different methodologies. And then once it's set up, you can't keep talking about it every single day. You don't want to be tinkering so much. So I would delay for half a week or so, and I'd check in later. Hey, how's your stats going? How's your test going? Is it doing what you want it to do or not? And then I wait another week. And eventually, I know about at the 2-week mark, you should have a pretty definitive answer on which is a better split test. So I can control that and control the relationship with the email course very easily. So that's on the email side. Let's go ahead and take a look at the membership area as well. And like I said, this is one of those where the subscribers, they're not just going to put their email in. They're probably, if they're using Thrive or really any of these platforms these days, they're going to create a free account where they'll sign up with their email or a username maybe. They'll put in a password and confirm that password. So you'll have 3 or 4 fields to fill out versus just the one email address field. And once they've created their account, they can log into your membership area, which is where you're going to have your course or some other membership materials there, and they can go and proceed to learn from there. So kind of the benefits of this version is it's a higher perceived value. Everyone gets emails. People don't value another email in their inbox, but if they feel they have access to something special, it's behind this special wall of membership area on your website, it gives them a higher value and it makes them more likely to follow through with it. They can actually click through, which I'll get to on the next one. They can learn at their own pace. So this is, totally just diopposing what I just said in the previous one, where you may want to control the pace, but not all your visitors are starting from step 1. You might take 3 or 4 lessons just to get into where they're currently at with their level of knowledge. And with a membership area, if you have it wide open where they can go and kind of click around and go to different lessons whenever they want to, they can learn at their own pace and go to what's relevant for them and get the value they need and get on with their day. So this is, again, a different strategy. It may be more relevant to the users, but it may not build that habit of opening an email every day for you. And lastly, not lastly, but another one that's important is it keeps them on your site. So with email marketing, oftentimes they'll open the email but not click through to it. And you also may have some lessons in your email marketing or in your email course where it's just the email. You might send them out to a blog post, but it's not like there's a central area. Whereas with the membership area strategy, you're going to have a spot where you can put other promotional material there. You can either use some of those countdown timers where as soon as they see the last lesson in the page, you can give them a coupon for a code. And there's a lot of things you can do by keeping them on your site. And that's not even starting to mention some of the search engine optimization benefits. If you keep people on your website, even if they're behind a paid membership area, oftentimes you can set that up where Google can still see that engagement. And what are some of the magics of hosting your online course on your own area? That's, the magic is your bounce rate goes down dramatically. People are not going to go to a thing they signed up for and not even engage with it, which is what a bounce is. So Google is going to see that your bounce rate has improved. They're going to see your time on page has improved because oftentimes these courses include some videos, include some other premium content that they're going to want to really spend some time in and dig their teeth into. And a lot of other kind of synergy benefits behind the entirety of your website and the health of your website. So that's a big reason to go the membership area route. Okay, so let's just spend a second and look at these side by side and kind of give you some overall perspective here. So email marketing course, it's easier, but if you think about it on the other hand, on the membership area route, unless you're planning on not teaching premium courses, you're going to have to figure it out anyways. You're going to have to figure out how to set up a membership area, whether it be through Teachable, and then how do you link your blog to Teachable, or if you're doing it through Thrive Apprentice, how do you set up that special area? So it's something you're going to have to tackle at some point. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And, learning at your own pace versus building good email habits, that's really 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You're winning on the building good email habits because you're getting people to open emails, hopefully. But if you miss the mark and the first 2 emails aren't relevant to where your specific visitor is at that moment in their journey, then you might have lost them and they'll unsubscribe. Whereas if they had it set up where they could learn at their own pace, they can go directly to where they're going to get value. They can get what they need and get on with their day and build that relationship even stronger. And again, keeping them on your site, that one, it doesn't have to be unique to the membership area. You can have every email course email be a very short little blurb, and it links them to a web page on your site. The challenge there is it becomes a bit more manual to link them to all the other lessons and yada, yada, yada. But you can keep that engagement on your website easier. One thing I didn't really mention I wanted to speak to here as well is with the membership area, it helps when you start having more and more free courses and free offers. So let me explain. So oftentimes, if you have somebody sign up for an email course, they're going to get the email course. But then later on down the road, you may decide, hey, I also want this cheat sheet that's going to be kind of relevant, but not exactly what you need for that email course. So now you have the subscriber who has gotten value from you and would like to get more value from you, but now they have to go and put their email into every other opt-in on your website. To sign up for this thing, sign up for that thing, and it all starts hitting their email, and it can become a little bit disorganized. Whereas on the membership area setup, you can continue to put more free courses, more free offers, more downloads, more printables, all these other things that you think would be relevant to your members. And if they're a member, they are going to get it automatically. And then within your segmentation on your email marketing, you can just look for all your free members. And whenever you publish something new, say, hey, by the way, I just enhanced your membership benefit of being a free member of the website. You now have access to this thing. It's here in the members area. Go ahead, log in and enjoy. So that way you don't need to worry about being irrelevant to your members. It's not like they are going to get it in duplicate because they signed up for your membership in general. So there's just some benefits there in the user experience. But ultimately, as we'll see in this slide here, which is right for you? I don't know if there's a one single right answer for how to deliver how to deliver free courses for growing your list. So you really have to just think about which is right for you. The tip I'll leave you with here is that it's easier to start up with email courses, just plain and simple it is. And as you can see from the previous slides, there are some benefits that are unique to email marketing courses. Once you have that set up, let's say you just like making courses, you're kind of prolific and you have 3, 4, 5 of them. At that point, it may make sense for you to take that leap and convert them into paid membership area or free or paid membership areas and allow them to kind of get that enhanced organization there. So you can start from one place and go to the next. But at this point, I want to hear what you think. Which way do you think is the right way or the best way to launch and host your free courses? Email marketing, membership area. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, what you've done, what you've enjoyed, and if one really did not work for you, let me know why. Again, I'm John from IncomeMesh.com. My goal online is to help you find the perfect tools for your next project, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.